The first thing Adam noticed when he woke up was the silence. Not the soft hum of early morning or the quiet of an empty house, but an unnatural, suffocating silence. The kind that makes your heartbeat sound like a drum in your ears. He sat up abruptly, his breath catching. The last thing he remembered was dozing off in the back seat of his friend Jonah's car as they drove home from a weekend camping trip. They had been laughing about something, probably one of Jonah's ridiculous theories about alien life, when exhaustion had pulled Adam into sleep. But now he was lying in the middle of a cobblestone street, the air thick with the scent of damp stone and decay. Panic tightened in his chest. "Jonah?" His voice cracked, breaking the eerie silence. No response. He stood shakily, taking in his surroundings. He was in a city, an old one. The buildings were grand yet crumbling, their facades covered in vines and cracks. The sky above was a dull gray, neither morning nor night, and there wasn't a single soul in sight. Adam's stomach twisted. Something was very wrong. He started walking, calling Jonah's name, but the sound barely echoed. The deeper he ventured into the city, the heavier the air became, as if the silence itself were pressing down on him. Then he saw it. A figure. At the end of the street stood a woman in a flowing dark cloak. Her face was hidden beneath a hood, but Adam could feel her gaze piercing through him. He swallowed hard. "Hey, do you know where I am?" His voice wavered. The woman didn't respond. Instead, she raised a hand and pointed behind him. Adam's blood ran cold. Every instinct screamed at him not to turn around. But fear, morbid and irresistible, forced him to do so. There was a mirror. It stood in the middle of the street, tall and ancient, its surface rippling like disturbed water. He inched closer, dreading what he might see. When he finally looked, his breath hitched. It was him, but not. The reflection was distorted, his eyes sunken, his skin gray. And his reflection, it was smiling. A cold whisper slithered into his mind. "You do not belong here." Adam stumbled backward, his heart hammering. When he turned back to the woman, she was gone. The silence stretched, heavier than before. Then the ground trembled. A deep groan echoed through the streets, and the buildings seemed to exhale dust. Adam had no idea what was happening, but he knew one thing. He had to run. He sprinted blindly through the maze-like streets, dodging toppled columns and gnarled roots breaking through the pavement. The city felt alive, shifting around him as if trying to keep him trapped. Then he saw the clock tower. It loomed ahead, ancient and defiant, its hands frozen at an indiscernible hour. A flicker of hope ignited in Adam's chest. If there was a way out, it had to be there. As he neared the entrance, a voice whispered through the air, "Turn back." He ignored it and pushed open the heavy doors, slipping inside. The interior was dark, the air thick with dust. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, and on it, a book bound in leather so old it looked like it might crumble at his touch. Adam hesitated before reaching for it. As soon as his fingers brushed the cover, a sharp pain shot through his skull. Memories, not his own, flooded his mind. People walking these streets. Laughter. Life. Then the slow unraveling. Shadows creeping. Voices fading. A city swallowed by time itself. And then Jonah's face. Adam gasped, the vision shattering. Jonah was here. Somewhere. Determined. He flipped open the book. The pages were filled with strange symbols, but his eyes latched onto one word written in bold. Exit. He didn't understand the language, but his gut told him what he had to do. He traced the word with his fingers, and the city groaned in response. The walls trembled. The silence cracked. A door appeared at the far end of the room, glowing with an otherworldly light. Without hesitation, Adam ran toward it, the very air resisting his movement. As he crossed the threshold, a voice whispered one last time, "Do not forget." The world tilted. And then, light, noise, the scent of pine and damp earth. Adam's eyes snapped open. He was in the back seat of Jonah's car. The radio hummed softly, and Jonah was laughing at something. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Had it been a dream? His heart pounded as he turned to Jonah. "Hey, do you remember stopping anywhere?" Jonah frowned. "What? No, man. You just dozed off. Why?" Adam hesitated, glancing at his hands. They were trembling. No reason, he lied. But deep down he knew. Somewhere, beyond the veil of reality, the forgotten city still waited. And it never truly let anyone go.